What's up guys, my name is Aaron aka Super Liger Tiger and this is Worth It. Welcome back everyone. In case you forgot what Worth It is, I buy a product, I tell you what I like, what I don't like, the good, the bad, the ugly, and in the comments below you tell me if it's worth it or not. And while you're here, make sure to like and subscribe so I can keep buying things and keep making these videos. So when I'm also not shooting Worth It, one of the things that I like to do is photography as well. I do have multiple camera bodies, kind of starting off with the one I use here, Canon. I also have Sony back here that you can't really see because there's a pile of stuff. And the other one is Fuji. So this is the Fuji X-E3. This is the Fuji XF100. And for Worth It today, there's one product that was announced a little while ago that I thought sounded so cool. And it kind of combines two things, which I'll talk about later. But this is the Fuji Instax Mini Evo. Let's open it up. So this is the Fujifilm Instax Mini Evo. Let's open it up. So for the Instax Fujifilm Mini Evo, it does combine both normal like DSLR mirrorless technology, and it does also combine the aspects of like the film cameras that you see at most parties that shoot like the Polaroids and whatnot. I don't know if I can use Polaroids with Fujifilm, but they shoot things like that. So it's a combination, the best of both worlds of both of them. So on the inside, starting off, here is the camera in its plastic. Besides that, we have, I guess, a charger. We have the manual. We have the shoulder strap, and it looks like that might be it. The box does feel pretty nice actually. It has this like nice sturdiness on it. Here's the front of the box, shows the camera picture and the Polaroid thing coming out. The Polaroid itself, and then how you can change like the film stuff. I don't know how to describe it better, but I'll try to describe it better as I go through this. Here's some of the things that you could do, how you can directly print from your phone, how you can save your images, and things like that. Alright, and then inside the camera, or inside the plastic of the camera, we have the camera, ooh, I shouldn't have dropped it already, body itself. So some first impressions that I have about the Mini Instax Evo is that it does feel like it's a perfect combination of both the Instax Square 6 and the Fuji X100 series. The other thing I am noticing is kind of two things. First one, there's no viewfinder, so if you did need one, you don't have this. This one doesn't have it at all, so you just have to look and click. And then the other thing I am noticing is that compared to like the Fuji X100F, where it does have more metally parts to it or has more weight, this one feels completely plasticky. There isn't really any like weight to this. This part is all plastic, all this is plastic, which for me was kind of disappointing because I thought it would have like this part at least metal or something like that. Besides that, there's a slot down here to add in a micro SD card. And on here you just click this, if you can kind of see it. You click that, you can add in the Instax film and be ready to go. So with that being said, I'm going to go get some film and let's take this for a ride. Alright, so I'm actually out here at Laurelwood Park in San Mateo. As you can see, these are trees. That means I'm at a park. And there's just three things I did want to talk about on this camera. The first one being is that this camera itself does have a rechargeable battery, so you don't need to deal with like AA's or AAA's like the other Instax cameras. And I do recommend charging it before you go out because mine was completely dead. The second one is that the lens itself is 28 millimeters with an aperture of f2.0, so that means you're going to get a lot of light in, so you don't have to worry about like changing apertures and shooting at night. F2.0 is pretty good. And the last one is that on both here, this knob on the back, and on the camera, you can change the filters and I guess basically the way you shoot so that you have multiple combinations on here. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see what we can do with it. Now, if you're like me and you're wondering with these pictures saved on a micro SD, what would they look like on like Lightroom? Well, let's kind of find out together. So I've just uploaded all 6 pictures, and starting with this one right here, it does look like there's not really a lot of like sharpness in the picture itself, which I guess is to be expected since this isn't exactly like a high-end camera. I guess with the edges here, this one is from the light reflection. For the second picture, it's kind of hard to really tell what exactly it is, but when I took it, it looked really cool, so that might also be kind of due to the lack of sharpness and everything like that. Obviously for this one, it didn't come out well, mostly because it's all blurry, but oh well. This one, it also looked cool when I shot it, but it does also lack, this one's not really suffering from lacking the sharpness, but it doesn't really have color or anything that makes it really stand out. Same with this one just kind of does look like it's actually from like a disposable camera. And then when I used the vignette filter for this one, it did kind of create a cool effect. There is some more sharpness than I feel like for the other ones, but all of these do kind of seem like they do need some sort of touch-up. So, some of the issues that I am having with this camera that aren't really a big thing, but I guess for me using a DSLR or mirrorless all the time, I'm noticing it more. But when you turn on separate like filters and film modes or whatever, like if you see here as it's moving, it's very slow and it isn't like responding as quick. But that's mostly because I'm probably used to mirrorlesses and DSLRs. Let's take this picture right here. I like that it does detect when to use flash, when to do scenes and everything like that. And then the other big thing is when you are, that's me, when you do have your pictures, I'm so used to pressing the play button to go back to shooting, but when I do that, it just changes to show all the other pictures I took, and even like more expanded to see everything that is on the camera right now. Another thing that I'm not really liking as much, and hopefully you can kind of see it here if it actually focuses in, it looks like it would be like a spinning wheel or anything like that, but it's more of just a button that you can push up, down, left, or right. And with that, if I push up, let's have that kind of focus on me. You press up and it does like a digital zoom into whatever you're zooming into or focusing on. And if you press either left or right, it does open a smaller menu to allow you to change like exposure, turn on the flash, or anything like that. But what is also kind of annoying is that the menu isn't as responsive as I really want it to be. So I'm having like issues where you just see the flash kind of come up, but and again, I have the flash coming up and just, it's a lot less responsive than I really kind of want it to be. So the other thing with this camera is that there is an app that you can download called the Instax Mini Evo app, which does allow you to directly print any pictures you have saved on your phone onto this camera, or using the camera's printer with the film in it. For the camera also, you can choose remote shooting and use that as like a live view, which is pretty cool, especially for kind of a hybrid camera like this. You can transfer your images from the camera onto your phone and change all the settings, like update your firmware that has the manual on how to use it, Bluetooth settings, print options if you want to change any of how you print on the brightness or anything like that. So if you are used to the Instax family, you know what to expect with this camera. What I think is a major upgrade from this and the other Instax cameras is the ability to take your picture and print later. Since you only generally get like 10 pieces of film to use, pressing the button once would just waste one of your films, and then you have 9 left. But here you can take all the pictures you want, save them onto your micro SD, and then print when you're ready, which is really great. If you are interested in photography and really want to learn more about it, I feel like this is a great step for you, especially if you've only had Instax cameras. mostly because you do have the options to change like exposure. You have the options to change white balance. And then besides that, you have these film simulations and filters so that you can make any picture the way you want to. And the one cool thing that I also didn't really get to explain about is this right here, where you can't see it, but it says print, and when you do this, then the camera does prepare the picture to print, and when it is ready to print, then you have your picture ready and it's all good to go. For a while, these Mini Instax Evos were pretty hard to find because they were so popular when they came out, since I feel like there wasn't any other kind of hybrid like this between like a film camera and a digital camera. But it seems that production has gone up on these, so they are easier to find. Although most places I am seeing it for around $300. For me, I went to Urban Outfitters, and if you are also a member, which you can just download and sign up, then you also get like a 10% off. So overall, I was able to get this for $190. So in the end, for the Instax Mini Evo, I think it's pretty cool. It allows you to take cool pictures like this one right here. Wow. And you could choose different film simulations, you could choose different filters. You could do a lot of creative things with this. Once again, I was able to find this at Urban Outfitters on their mobile app by being a member for $190. It is a great step in learning photography, since it does give you a little bit more control on taking your pictures. So in the end, despite its flaws, with how cool it is, and you can also take selfies with this mirror here, wow, is it worth it? Let me know!